How's it going, guys? So today I'm working on the BMW a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why these are the most misunderstood cars you could possibly own. Now, I'll tell you a little bit more about that, a little more in depth. BMWs can be great cars. I'm trying to take my gloves off. They can be great cars. They have an issue though. They have two issues. One, the engineers, the manufacturers kind of did us dirty on these cars. They made them very particular, very tedious on the maintenance part of it. The issue is, especially in America, people don't like to do maintenance on their car. They like to drive it, never touch it, till it just will not move, and then wonder why it doesn't move, why it's broken. Go sell it, throw it away, buy another one, and go on. Now, I can't say everybody's like that. Everybody's not like that. Probably 85% of people are like that. You have a select few, like me, some of the other YouTubers, a lot of people watch this channel that actually do the maintenance. They do run these cars at 200,000 to 300,000 miles. It all depends on your outlook on the car and what you want out of it. Doing the maintenance isn't that bad. It's not that expensive depending on what you have. Some engines are really bad. Some of them are really good. All the cars you see on this channel are always in a crisis point, right? And the final death throes of their life before they go to the junkyard. And those kind of make good videos. I have a special purpose in the BMW world. I could buy stuff that's not going to make money. This is going to be a total nightmare. That allows me to take it apart, show you guys everything about it, teach everybody about it. Unfortunately, I like to buy these cars, right? Unfortunately, by doing all these videos on these cars, that makes the cars more difficult to buy because everybody's starting to fix them. We notice this a lot with even the E90s and E60s especially. You know, the market value is on a sliding scale, up and down, up and down. And we see cars like E39s become more difficult to buy for cheaper. The price is spiking on those cars right now. For a good clean E39, could bring up to upwards of $5,000. There's a few on Facebook right now for 15 grand for E39 for like a 530. Just because supposedly it's not neglected. However, you spend 15 grand on E39, you can bet your ass you're going to have to bring it home and do some stuff to it. Like I said, BMW is a love-hate relationship. There's other cars like this too. Jaguars like this, Audi, even Volkswagen, Mercedes, Range Rover. All those cars are kind of the same way. And they're built off the same premise. The actual heart of the car can run forever as long as you do the correct maintenance and you're cautious of it. You know, for a BMW, 200,000 miles is nothing. 200,000 miles with zero maintenance is impossible. That's the best way I could put it. When should you buy these cars? When should you not? You should buy a BMW or an Audi or one of these other cars that I speak of if you have the financial means to buy the parts. If you have the mechanical knowledge to buy the parts. What parts to buy, rather. And the mechanical knowledge or the want to or know how to fix the car yourself. When should you not buy a BMW? When should you never, ever, ever, ever buy a BMW? If you cannot turn a wrench, a German car is not for you. Period. I don't care if you make 60 or 100 grand a year. You can't afford to keep this mess up. Paying somebody to do everything. Either you're going to have to make friends quick like with somebody that knows what they're doing, or you're going to be in bad shape. The best thing you could do, there's so much information on the internet now about these cars. Literally any problem you have, thanks to me and a bunch of others, you could get on the internet, type in what your problem is, and 9 times out of 10 you get a result that help you fix it that minute. You do have that kind of leverage, right? A lot of YouTubers are all about the dealership. The guys work at the dealership. You know, they're doing videos about why should you not buy your own parts for the dealership. What the hell? Well, I'm doing videos about why never go to the dealership. Why never go to the dealership, right? That's what it's really called. Most people have to go to the dealership for recalls. I'll go to the dealership for a recall, even though I hate going there. And it's always a nightmare. It's always time consuming. And it's inconvenient as hell. Sometimes you have to do that. This car is a recall. Did I go there for it? Hell no. I almost rather die than have to go to the dealership for that, to be honest with you. Usually they're just a bunch of arrogant assholes. That's the way it is, right? The guys go to those dealerships to make money. It's money, 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 money. They don't care about anything else. If you get in the way of making their money, them making their money, they're going to push you out. They're going to snub you out. That's the way anybody is. I mean, even the YouTube world, if you get more views than somebody else, that person hates you, right? Okay, that's fine. But YouTube's kind of, you're not face-to-face to that person. So it's a little bit different situation, I guess. We're getting a little bit off topic. The bottom line here is, a lot of guys are saying, I would die before I bought a BMW. Scotty Kilmer's bad about that nonsense. Always putting out these clickbait, weird videos. Why you should never do this. Why you should never buy this car. And he'll have like a 535i there. He doesn't know his buff from a hole in the ground about the car. Bad mouthing it. Well, I bad mouth some cars, some BMWs. Some of them are really terrible. But they're all very fixable. So, yeah. And really, you know, we're putting some Van Alstyne solenoids on this car. These cars do have a lot of plastic on them. Everything does. Every model does. It doesn't matter what you buy. Here's the bottom line of it. These cars are fixable, right? It's a fixable car. It might be a pain in the ass. It might not. You start buying stuff like Chevy Cobalts, junk like that, Chevy Cruzes. That's a thrown together piece of crap. I mean, it's difficult to fix those cars because the engineering is so out of whack on it. They're throwaway model cars. It's a throwaway car. Most cars you buy today are throwaway cars. They're not made to go over 100,000 miles. They're not made to do all that kind of stuff. They're made to use it, abuse it, throw it in the trash. The manufacturer wants to go buy another one as soon as you can. That's what they do. You know, a lot of the Kias are on engine exchange programs to where they exchange your engine with another engine, the cradle and everything. They swap it out. You don't get a new engine if it blows up. It's just made... It's hard to explain without having a Kia here to show you. I just have to point it out and show you. But these are actually workable cars. They are very complex. That's no doubt. The drive of these cars, when you're driving them, it is like no other. I've had a ton of Toyotas in the past. A BMW and a Toyota are not in the same spectrum at all. A lot of the newer Lexus stuff's getting better as far as that goes. I'll put you up here, dancing all around with you. A lot of the newer Lexus stuff's getting better. Therefore, though, you get a newer Lexus that has the same comparison stuff with this. You have a lot of the same issues, right? So, iDrive, the xDrive, the all-wheel drive system, all the little bells and whistles don't come without repercussion. What I mean by that, you can go buy a plain car. Like my Toyota Sequoia is the most plainest thing you can possibly get. There's no heated seats. There's no nothing. It's just like a chunk of metal you could drive, right? It's like riding a horse. It's not comfortable to drive, but it could pull my trailer, so that's why I have it. The whole situation is, with these cars, that's not that way. They're very comfortable cars to drive. Most of them, 99% of them, make really good power. They hold the road well. If you get caught out in the rain or snow, you're not totally screwed unless you're driving like an idiot. You know, the ABS system, the DSC, the stability system is like no other. I would almost venture to say I've had Audis. This is better than Audi as far as all-wheel drive goes. And so, yes, they are a total nightmare. You do get a lot of bang for your buck. The result of that, a used BMW does not sell for a lot of money. You could buy a 2012, 2013 F30, a 3 Series BMW, $6,000, $7,000. Okay, with fairly okay mileage on it, with 120, 130K on it. Okay mileage, right? Not low, not high. That's a good deal. The thing about it is, people don't understand them. So when you get it, it's going to be broken. Even though it might drive home, something will rise up on it. The only issue is, if you buy that this year for, let's say, $6,000, what's it going to be worth next year? Probably $5,000 or $4,500. That's the only problem. Your best angle to buy a BMW is look at the market. It's a good time to buy a car when the market dips on the car and when it planes out, or is it starting to barely climb back up. All BMWs have a time and place when they're on the uprise, and they're not going to go back down in price. E39 is that way right now. E46 is not that way yet. A good clean E36 will bring quite a bit of money now. And then, of course, any of the M cars you can find a good deal on, that's great. A lot of the issue you're finding now is people have broken their cars because they weren't paying attention to it. The transmission is broken, not changing the fluid, not doing stuff, not letting it heat up before you floor it and break stuff. But they still owe a lot of money on them. So they're still asking retail value for the car when you can just go buy one that's not broken for the same price. It's starting to see that a lot. It's becoming more and more of a common issue. One thing you never want to do, never, ever, ever, you never want to buy a brand new BMW. That's just a bad investment. You at least want to buy it a few years old, so the initial hit off of it is gone, right? And you still have to look at it and say, hey, how much is this car going to lose? Look at previous cars, previous markets. What did this car do? What did the E90s lose? What did the E60s lose? That'll let you basically judge at F30 or F10 what you could do. Now, anything all-wheel drive brings a little more money. Like I said before, it also brings a whole host of other issues and other costs to keep it running. And if somebody's mistreated it, all-wheel drive can be real expensive because people love to just floor it from a dead stop and break stuff or whatever. Who knows? But that's my general consensus on this video. Should you buy a BMW? Yes, under the right circumstance. And it all depends on you as the owner, how you're going to treat the car. If you're a damn idiot, you don't know how to turn a wrench on anything, you never even held a screwdriver in your hand, go buy a Kia and sell it before the warranty runs out because you won't want it after.